Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Monday, November 26, 2018. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Hopefully everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving holiday here in the previous week. Back at it this week, and so far what you see here in the ES and the daily time frame is prices are higher here, about 1.2% higher in pre-market trading. We have not taken out the October low just yet. We also have not taken out the lows for the year either, and that could be something that may be ahead. We continue to trade inside the larger key range. This is the key range low, 25.29, key range high, 28.78.5, and the midpoint, 27.0375. And we continue to chop inside that zone, and more specifically around the midpoint in recent trading. Are we going to take out the October low and bounce back up toward 2800? Or are we going to come out here and try to take out the year's low and bounce back up toward 28 and maybe as high as 29.50 to 3K? That could certainly be a route here sometime over the next month and perhaps heading into the new year. But for right now, we're kind of at the lows here, and it could be anyone's guess whether we're about to rally back up or perhaps failed new high and try a little lower. So right now, just going to continue to let it do its thing a little bit, and I'll be watching the edges here for signs of a major bounce opportunity. If we take a look at the NQ, you'll see this one's up here about 1.6%, also hanging near the lows of the recent trading action, but this one took out the October low, has not taken out the lows for the year just yet. Those are still down here. You can see a great LVN still there. So the way that this thing is still going, lower highs, lower lows, that type of thing, this suggests we have more downside perhaps ahead. Again, we continue to trade around the midpoint of the key range from the beginning of the year. And again, failing to hold 6,700 could open up another round of weakness back towards 62s. If we get anywhere below 62, 6,100, 6K evens, that could be a fantastic opportunity to trap for a longer term bounce play back up. So right now, again, still looking near term bearish. We could still find a couple of new lows here, but at the same time, we could be looking at great buying opportunities down the way. All right, let's take a look now at crude oil. You'll see here with crude oil, this one had a huge day down on Friday. Major continuation, hit 50 bucks. We got to as low as 50.10 here this morning. In overnight trading, we're holding in a very narrow range now. Narrow range of about 46 ticks. Actually, 46% of ADR, so it's a bigger range than that. But look at this significant sell-off from 77 bucks down to 50 bucks. That's been just an incredible move here, and it doesn't appear done just yet. You can see here, this was the 100% expansion target right there. We hit the 50, we've hit the 100. That was at 51.54. We talked about that potential when this thing went out, and it got there. Value is 49. We talked about the failure to hold 55 would suggest a continuation back to 49, and that would just be value. We're almost there. Additionally, the bottom of value and the LVN would be much lower, between 40 and 43. So we could be looking at a move way down to 40 to 42, 43 before we get a bounce back toward 55. So again, this is all based off of some of the market structure we've played off of before. And if you look back here, here's the 55s, here's the 40s, and this was the market before that, before we broke above and rallied. And now breaking back below 55 here suggests that we could be headed as low as 40 before we bounce back up to 55. So again, how much more downside do we have in crude oil? Could be much, much more ahead. Lastly, taking a look at Bitcoin. Again, this one has fallen off a cliff. We knew that that could be the case. We knew 6K was huge. We could tell that there was lower highs and no ability to break a prior pivot high. Not in the last year, not since the futures came on. We knew that 4,400 could be the next major target, and it got there in about 5 days. Now we're at 38.80 with 2,200 still to go. That is the 100, actually it's 2,100, is the 100% target from the key range. We just hit 44. Now we could be looking at a 100% target at 2,100 down the road. So no end in sight right now for Bitcoin. Still more downside to come. All right, that is it for now. Let's see how this plays out heading into the final week of November. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room.